Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these top 10 rare Abraham Lincoln pennies that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're shining a spotlight on a coin that might be sitting in your pocket or at the bottom of your change jar, the 1980 United States 1-cent coin. You might think it's just a penny, but wait until you hear about its potential value. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll learn why this humble coin could be worth a staggering amount of money. Let's start with a little history. The 1981-cent coin, also known as the penny, is part of the Lincoln series, which has been in circulation since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny features a profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse side until 1958, after which the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial. The 1980 penny was struck during a time of economic challenge, marked by inflation and rising interest rates. What's particularly interesting about this coin is its place in the history of U.S. currency. It reflects a time when the U.S. government was adjusting to economic shifts, which ultimately impacts its value today. Now, let's take a closer look at the design. The obverse side features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity and resilience in American history. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to one of our greatest presidents, but not all 1980 pennies are created equal. While most are fairly common, a special variety exists that collectors are particularly interested in, the 1980 small date penny. This version features a slightly different design with a smaller numeral for the date, making it much rarer. Understanding these nuances is crucial for any collector looking to assess their coins accurately. What makes the 1981-cent coin so special in the eyes of collectors? The answer lies in its rarity. Although millions of these pennies were minted, only a limited number of the small date versions were produced, and even fewer are in excellent condition today. Coins that have survived in uncirculated condition, free from scratches and wear, can fetch significantly higher prices. Collectors are always on the lookout for well-preserved examples, as the condition dramatically affects the coin's market value. In addition to the small date variety, some 1980 pennies have unique features or minting errors that can increase their value even further. For instance, you might encounter coins with off-center strikes or unusual die errors. These unique characteristics make them highly desirable for collectors who appreciate the rarity and the story behind each coin. If you happen to have a 1980 penny that showcases one of these minting errors, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is the 1980 US 1-cent coin really worth? If you have the small date penny in pristine condition, it could be worth $44,000. That's right, $44,000 for a single 1980 penny. Who would have thought that such a small piece of currency could hold so much value? If you've got some old pennies lying around, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You might have a hidden treasure in your collection. Top 2, we're focusing on a coin that may be hiding in your pocket or at the bottom of your change jar, the 1998 United States 1-cent coin. You might think it's just another penny, but stick around. By the end of this video, you'll discover why this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth a remarkable amount of money. Let's start with a little context. The 1998 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is part of the long-standing Lincoln series, which has been in circulation since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this series honors President Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most revered leaders. In 1998, the U.S. was experiencing a booming economy, characterized by low unemployment and rising stock markets. This economic backdrop adds an interesting layer to the story of the 1998 penny, which was struck during a time of prosperity for the nation. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1998 penny. On the obverse side, you'll see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, symbolizing unity and resilience. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's legacy and the values he stood for. However, what many collectors are particularly interested in are the variations of the 1998 penny. Most of them are standard, but there are specific versions, like the wide AM and close AM varieties, that are highly sought after. Understanding these differences is crucial for anyone looking to assess their coins accurately. So, what makes the 1998 1-cent coin stand out in the collector community? The key lies in its rarity. While millions of these pennies were minted, only a small number exhibit the rare, wide AM design on the reverse. Most of the 1998 pennies were struck with a close AM design, where the letters A and M in America touch. This slight difference makes the wide AM version significantly more valuable. Coins that have survived in uncirculated condition are particularly prized. A well-preserved coin can fetch much higher prices, as collectors are always on the lookout for examples free from scratches, marks, and other signs of wear. In addition to the wide AM variant, some 1998 pennies may also possess minting errors or unique features that enhance their value. For instance, you might find coins with off-center strikes or unusual die errors. These unique characteristics make them highly desirable among collectors, who appreciate the rarity and the fascinating stories behind each coin. If you happen to have one of these error coins, it could be worth considerably more than its face value. Now, let's get to the thrilling part. How much is the 1998 US 1-cent coin truly worth? If you have the rare, wide AM penny in pristine condition, it could be worth an astonishing $36,000, that's right, $36,000 for a single 1998 penny. It's incredible to think that something so small could hold such significant value. If you've got some old pennies lying around, it's definitely worth checking your collection. You might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Top 3, we're diving into a coin that might be hiding in your change jar or tucked away in your collection, the 1986 United States 1-cent coin. You might think it's just another penny, but by the end of this video, you'll see why this little coin could be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. Let's start with some background. The 1986 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is part of the iconic Lincoln series that has been circulating since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this series honors President Abraham Lincoln, symbolizing unity and strength in American history. In 1986, the U.S. was enjoying a period of economic recovery after the early 1980s recession. The nation was experiencing growth, which set the stage for the minting of millions of these pennies. However, it's the specific features of the 1986 coin that collectors find particularly interesting. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1986 penny. On the obverse side, you'll see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, a reminder of his enduring legacy. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, which has been a symbol of American ideals since its introduction. While most 1986 pennies appear standard, there are subtle variations that collectors pay close attention to. One such feature is the difference between the wide AM and close AM designs on the reverse. Most of the 1986 pennies were minted with the close AM design, where the letters A and M in America touch, making the wide AM variety exceptionally rare. So, what elevates the 1986 1-cent coin in the eyes of collectors? The rarity of the wide AM version is what makes it so desirable. Although millions of these coins were produced, the small number of wide AM variations means that collectors actively seek them out. Coins that remain in uncirculated condition are particularly prized, as their value can skyrocket based on their quality. Collectors are always on the lookout for well-preserved examples, as the condition of the coin dramatically influences its market value. Finding a 1986 penny in pristine condition is not only exciting but can also be a game-changer for any collection. In addition to the wide AM variant, some 1986 pennies may exhibit minting errors or unique features that can increase their value even further. For instance, you might encounter coins with off-center strikes, doubling, or other unusual characteristics. These minting errors are particularly sought after because they tell a unique story about the coin's production. If you find yourself in possession of one of these error coins, it could dramatically increase its worth and appeal to fellow collectors. Now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much is the 1986 US 1-cent coin really worth? If you happen to have the rare, wide AM penny in excellent condition, it could be valued at an astonishing $40,000, that's right, $40,000 for a single 1986 penny. It's incredible to think that something so small could hold such significant value. If you've got a collection of old pennies, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You might just discover a hidden treasure. Top 4, we're focusing on a coin that may be lying around in your pocket or stashed away in your collection, the 1985 United States 1-cent coin. You might think it's just a regular penny, but by the end of this video, you'll understand why this little piece of currency could be worth an astonishing amount of money. Let's start with some historical context. The 1985 1-cent coin, part of the renowned Lincoln series, has been in circulation since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this series honors President Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity and strength in American history. In 1985, the United States was navigating a complex economic landscape marked by recovery from the early 1980s recession. The mint produced millions of these pennies during a time when the country was adjusting to new economic realities. However, what makes the 1985 penny particularly interesting are the subtle differences that can significantly affect its value. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1985 penny. The obverse side features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, representing resilience and leadership. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's legacy and the values he stood for. Most 1985 pennies appear standard, but collectors are particularly interested in the variations. The most notable feature is the distinction between the wide AM and close AM designs on the reverse. In the close AM design, the letters A and M in America are nearly touching, while in the rare wide AM version, there's a noticeable gap between them. This subtle difference can make a huge impact on the coin's value. So, what makes the 1985 1-cent coin stand out in the collector community? The rarity of the wide AM version is key. Although millions of 1985 pennies were minted, very few exhibit the wide AM design, making them highly sought after. Collectors prize coins that remain in uncirculated condition, as these can command significantly higher prices. Finding a 1985 penny in pristine condition is not just exciting, it can turn an ordinary collection into something extraordinary. The demand for these well-preserved examples reflects the ongoing interest in coins with unique features. In addition to the wide AM variant, some 1985 pennies might showcase unique minting errors that can further enhance their value. For instance, coins with off-center strikes or doubling can be particularly desirable. These minting errors add to the character of the coin and can captivate collectors who appreciate the stories behind each piece. If you stumble upon one of these error coins, it could be a game changer for your collection. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is the 1985 US 1-cent coin really worth? If you possess the rare, wide AM penny in excellent condition, it could be valued at an impressive $41,000, that's right, $41,000 for a single 1985 penny. It's mind-boggling to think that something so small could hold such significant value. If you've got some old pennies lying around, it's definitely worth checking your collection. You might just uncover a hidden treasure. Top 5, we're focusing on a coin that might be lying around in your pocket or tucked away in your collection, the 1979 United States 1-cent coin. You might think it's just another penny, but stick around. By the end of this video, you'll see why this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth an astonishing amount of money. Let's start with some historical context. The 1979 1-cent coin, part of the iconic Lincoln series, has been in circulation since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this series honors President Abraham Lincoln, symbolizing unity and strength in American history. In 1979, the United States was navigating an economic landscape shaped by inflation and energy crises. The mint produced millions of these pennies during a time when the country faced economic challenges, making the 1979 penny an interesting piece of history. However, it's the specific features of the 1979 coin that have caught the attention of collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1979 penny. On the obverse side, you'll see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, representing resilience and leadership. The reverse side features the iconic wheat ears, a design that has long been associated with American prosperity, but what makes the 1979 penny particularly noteworthy are the variations in its design. Most collectors are keenly interested in the different types produced that year, specifically the small date and large date varieties. The small date version has a slightly smaller numeral for the year, which makes it much rarer compared to its large date counterpart. So, what elevates the 1979 1-cent coin in the eyes of collectors? The rarity of the small date version is what makes it so desirable. Although millions of these coins were minted, only a limited number of the small date variations exist, and finding one in pristine condition can be quite a challenge. Coins that remain uncirculated are particularly prized in the collector community. Their condition can significantly influence their market value, and a well-preserved 1979 penny can be a standout piece in any collection. In addition to the small date variant, some 1979 pennies might exhibit minting errors or unique features that enhance their value even further. For example, coins with off-center strikes or other production anomalies can be highly sought after. These unique characteristics not only add to the story of each coin but also make them more valuable to collectors who appreciate the rarity. If you find yourself in possession of one of these era coins, it could dramatically increase its worth and appeal. Now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much is the 1979 US 1-cent coin really worth? If you have the rare, small date penny in excellent condition, it could be valued at an incredible $50,000, that's right, $50,000 for a single 1979 penny. It's astounding to think that such a small piece of currency could hold such significant value. If you've got some old pennies lying around, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You might just discover a hidden treasure. Top 6, we're shining a spotlight on a seemingly humble little coin that packs a big punch, the United States 1-cent coin from 1995. You might think a penny isn't worth much, but trust me, this particular one could be worth more than you ever imagined. Stick around as we unravel its history, design, and what makes it so valuable. Let's start with a bit of context. The 1995 1-cent coin is part of the iconic Lincoln penny series, which has been a staple of American currency since 1909. By the mid-90s, the penny was already a familiar sight in pockets and cash registers across the nation. However, 1995 was a significant year in the minting of these coins, as it marked a pivotal moment in the production of the Lincoln penny. During this time, the United States Mint was working diligently to meet the demands of an ever-growing economy, producing billions of these little coins. But, as with any mass production, a few unique pieces slipped through the cracks, ones that would later capture the attention of collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1995 penny. On the obverse side, we have the familiar visage of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who has graced the penny for over a century. The portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner and represents Lincoln's legacy and leadership during one of the most tumultuous times in American history. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has been a symbol of American pride since its introduction in 1959. The memorial represents unity and strength, reminding us of the values that Abraham Lincoln stood for. But what really sets the 1995 penny apart from its counterparts is not just its design, but rather the stories behind certain varieties of this coin. What makes the 1995 penny truly intriguing for collectors is its rarity, particularly in specific conditions. While most 1995 pennies are relatively easy to find, a rare variety exists that could leave you stunned. The 1995 double-die penny, which features a noticeable doubling effect on the inscription, Liberty, and the year itself, is a collector's dream. This error occurred during the minting process and has resulted in a limited number of these coins being available. Collectors are always on the lookout for such unique features because they can greatly increase a coin's value. A typical 1995 penny might only fetch a few cents, but the double-die version can skyrocket in value, drawing in bids from avid numismatists. As we dive deeper, let's discuss what collectors are really after. The 1995 penny's unique features, particularly the double die variety, set it apart. These coins show clear signs of doubling in key areas, and if you happen to find one, it could be a game changer for your collection. In addition to the double die, some other variants exist, such as those with minting errors or unique characteristics, making them even more desirable. Coins with mint errors often attract collectors because they tell a unique story of the minting process. If you come across one of these, it's worth checking to see if it might have any additional value. Now, let's talk about the market for these coins. The demand for rare pennies, especially those with unique features, has only grown over the years. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for high-quality pieces, particularly those that have been well preserved. Recent auctions have shown that the value of these coins can fluctuate based on market interest, but one thing is certain: the 1995 double die penny is highly sought after. If you manage to get your hands on one in great condition, you could be looking at a significant financial return. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. If you happen to find a 1995 penny that's in pristine condition, or even better, a rare double die version, you could be sitting on a treasure worth a staggering $37,000, that's right, $37,000 for a single penny. Who knew this small coin could hold such incredible value? So, if you've got any old pennies lying around or come across a 1995 penny in your change, take a closer look. You might be holding onto a hidden gem. Top 7, we're focusing on a little penny that could pack a hefty punch in your collection, the United States 1-cent coin from 1983. You might think a penny is just a penny, but trust me, this specific coin could be worth a lot more than you'd expect. Stay tuned as we dive into its fascinating history, unique features, and how it could potentially lead you to a small fortune. Let's set the stage. The year 1983 was significant for the United States, both politically and economically. Coin production was in full swing as the country was adjusting to the economic changes of the early 80s. The U.S. Mint was tasked with producing billions of coins to keep up with a growing economy. This included the 1-cent coin, which has been an integral part of American currency since its inception. During this year, a notable change occurred in the minting process of the penny. Following a shift in metal prices, the composition of the 1-cent coin transitioned from primarily copper to a mix of zinc coated with copper. While most 1983 pennies are fairly standard, a rare variant exists that has become the holy grail for collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1983 penny. The obverse features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of American leadership and resilience. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait has graced the penny since 1909, making it one of the most recognized images in U.S. currency. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's legacy and a reminder of the unity and strength he championed. The details on this coin, combined with its historical significance, make it a cherished piece for many collectors. But what really elevates the 1983 penny is its potential rarity, particularly when it comes to specific variants. So, what makes the 1983 penny a standout in the world of coin collecting? The answer lies in its rarity, specifically, the 1983 double die variety. This error occurred during the minting process, leading to a doubling effect on the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These subtle yet noticeable features make the double die penny a highly sought-after item among collectors. While many 1983 pennies are easy to find, spotting the double die version is a different story. These rare coins were produced in limited quantities, and over the years, the condition and preservation of these coins have greatly impacted their market value. Let's dive deeper into the unique features that collectors are after. Aside from the double die, there are other variants and mint errors from 1983 that can make a coin significantly more valuable. For instance, some pennies were mistakenly struck on the wrong planchets, leading to unique characteristics. Coins with minting errors can command high prices due to their rarity and the stories they tell about the minting process. If you find an error coin, it's essential to examine it closely for any signs of uniqueness. Even minor details can drastically increase a coin's appeal and value among collectors. Now, let's talk about the market for these coins. The demand for rare pennies, especially those with unique features, has been steadily increasing over the years. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for high-quality pieces, particularly those that are well-preserved. Auctions for rare coins have shown that even a single penny can fetch an impressive amount when it stands out from the crowd. The 1983 double-die penny has become one of the most sought-after rare coins in the market. If you manage to find one in great condition, you could be looking at a significant financial return. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you have a 1983 penny that is in uncirculated condition, or even better, a rare double-die version, it could be worth a staggering $40,000, that's right, $40,000 for a single penny. It's incredible how a seemingly ordinary coin can hold such extraordinary value. So, if you have any old pennies stashed away or find a 1983 penny in your change, take a closer look. You might just be sitting on a hidden treasure. Top 8. We're focusing on a seemingly simple coin that has captured the hearts of collectors everywhere, the United States 1-cent coin from 1994. You might think a penny is just a penny, but this particular one has a story and a potential value that will leave you amazed. So, stick around as we dive into its history, design, and what makes it so valuable. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1994 1-cent coin is part of the iconic Lincoln penny series, which has been a staple of American currency for over a century. By the mid-90s, the penny was an essential part of everyday transactions, and the U.S. Mint was working hard to produce enough coins to meet the growing demand. In 1994, the Mint produced billions of these coins, and while most of them are still floating around today, a rare variant has emerged that sets this penny apart from the rest. The year was also significant as it marked a time of economic recovery for the U.S., and the minting of these coins reflected the vibrant economic climate of the time. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1994 penny. On the obverse side, we have the well-known profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's portrait is a powerful symbol of leadership and perseverance. It's hard to believe that this design has been gracing the penny since 1909. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's legacy. This design, introduced in 1959, represents unity and strength, encapsulating the ideals that Lincoln stood for during a challenging period in American history. The details of the memorial, with its columns and inscriptions, add a sense of dignity to this humble coin. So, what makes the 1994 penny so appealing to collectors? The answer lies in its rarity, specifically, the 1994 double-die variety. This error coin features a distinct doubling effect on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." This doubling occurs due to a misalignment during the minting process, creating a unique and sought-after coin. While most 1994 pennies are easily found in circulation, the double-die version is much rarer. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for this particular variety because its unique characteristics can dramatically increase its value. Now, let's dive deeper into the unique features collectors cherish. Aside from the double-die variety, other minting errors from 1994 can also add to a coin's value. For instance, some pennies were struck on incorrect planchets or have other minor errors that make them stand out. These error coins often attract collectors because they tell a story about the minting process and are unique in their imperfections. If you happen to find any 1994 pennies, it's essential to examine them closely for any signs of uniqueness. Even subtle details can dramatically impact a coin's appeal and value in the collector market. Now, let's talk about the market for these coins. The demand for rare pennies, especially those with unique features, has been steadily rising. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for high-quality specimens, particularly those that are well-preserved and feature minting errors. The 1994 double-die penny has garnered significant attention in the numismatic community, and it's not uncommon for these coins to sell for impressive amounts at auction. If you manage to find one in great condition, you could be looking at a serious financial return. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you have a 1994 penny in uncirculated condition, or even better, a rare double die version, it could be worth a staggering $36,000, that's right, $36,000 for a single penny. It's incredible how something so small can hold such immense value. So, if you have any old pennies lying around or come across a 1994 penny in your change, be sure to take a closer look. You might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. Top 9, we're zooming in on a little piece of American currency that holds great significance, the United States 1-cent coin from 1984. You might think of a penny as just a penny, but this particular coin has a fascinating background and an incredible potential value. Stick around as we explore its history, design, and why it could be worth a small fortune. Let's dive into the history of the 1984 penny. By the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of coins to keep pace with a growing economy. The 1-cent coin, or penny, was a vital part of everyday transactions. In 1984, the minting process was already well established, and millions of these coins rolled off the presses. This year was particularly noteworthy because it came on the heels of several economic changes in the United States, including adjustments in the metal composition of coins. The 1984 penny was primarily made of zinc, coated with a thin layer of copper, which is the same composition that had been used since the previous decade. However, amidst this mass production, a rare variant of the penny emerged that would capture the attention of collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1984 penny. On the obverse side, we see the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of American resilience and leadership. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, has been a fixture of U.S. currency since 1909, making Lincoln a familiar figure to generations of Americans. On the reverse side, we find the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to one of the most revered presidents in U.S. history. This design was introduced in 1959 and represents unity, strength, and the values Lincoln stood for during his presidency. The intricate details of the memorial add to the beauty of this coin, making it not just currency, but a piece of American heritage. What makes the 1984 penny so interesting for collectors? The answer lies in its rarity, specifically, the 1984 double die variety. This rare error coin features distinct doubling on the inscriptions, Liberty and, In God We Trust. This happened during the minting process, resulting in a striking and collectible piece that stands out from the rest. While most 1984 pennies are common and easy to find, the double die variety is much rarer. Collectors are always on the lookout for this unique feature because it significantly increases the coin's value. In the world of numismatics, error coins like this can become highly sought after, often leading to competitive bidding at auctions. Let's delve deeper into the unique characteristics that collectors cherish. Aside from the double die version, there are other minting errors from 1984 that can add to a coin's desirability. For instance, some pennies were struck on incorrect planchets or have slight design variations that make them one of a kind. These error coins not only tell a story about the minting process but also highlight the fascinating nature of coin collecting. If you stumble upon a 1984 penny, it's essential to inspect it closely for any unique features or imperfections. Even the slightest detail can make a big difference in a coin's market value. Now, let's talk about the current market for these coins. The demand for rare pennies, especially those with unique features like the double die, has been rising steadily. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for high-quality specimens, particularly those that are well-preserved and showcase minting errors. The 1984 double die penny is especially coveted among numismatists, and recent auction results indicate that these coins can command impressive prices. If you happen to find one in excellent condition, you could be looking at a substantial return on your investment. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you have a 1984 penny in uncirculated condition, or even better, a rare double die version, it could be worth a staggering $39,000, that's right, $39,000 for a single penny. It's truly incredible how something so small can hold such enormous value. So, if you have any old pennies lying around or come across a 1984 penny in your change, make sure to take a closer look. You might be holding onto a hidden treasure. Top 10 and last rare penny coin. We're focusing on a seemingly ordinary piece of currency that has the potential to be worth a small fortune, the United States 1-cent coin from 1991. You might think a penny isn't worth much, but this particular coin has a rich history and an impressive value that will surprise you. So, stick around as we explore its background, design, and what makes it so desirable to collectors. Let's start with the history of the 1991 penny. The early 90s were an interesting time for the United States, marked by economic changes and advancements in technology. The U.S. Mint was working hard to produce billions of coins to meet the demands of a bustling economy. By 1991, the penny was still a vital part of everyday transactions, helping to shape the way Americans handled their money. This year saw the continuation of the penny's long-standing tradition, with the familiar Lincoln design making its mark once again. But as millions of these coins were produced, a rare variant emerged that would soon capture the attention of collectors everywhere. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1991 penny. On the obverse side, we have the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This portrait, created by Victor David Brenner, has been featured on the penny since 1909, making Lincoln one of the most recognized figures in American currency. Flipping the coin over, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's legacy and a symbol of unity and strength. This design was introduced in 1959 and represents the values that Lincoln fought for during his presidency. The details of the memorial are a testament to American history, making this penny not just currency, but a piece of the nation's story. So, what makes the 1991 penny a standout in the coin-collecting world? The answer lies in its rarity, specifically, the 1991 doubled die variety. This rare error coin features distinct doubling on the inscriptions, Liberty and In God We Trust. The doubling occurs due to a misalignment during the minting process, creating a unique and highly collectible piece. While most 1991 pennies are fairly common, the double die version is much rarer, making it a prime target for collectors. The unique characteristics of this coin can dramatically increase its value, which is why collectors are always on the lookout for it. Let's dive deeper into the unique features that make certain 1991 pennies more valuable. Aside from the double die variety, there are other mint errors from this year that can add to a coin's appeal. For instance, some pennies were struck on incorrect planchets or had other slight design variations. These minting errors create one-of-a-kind pieces that attract collectors due to their rarity and uniqueness. If you happen to find a 1991 penny, be sure to examine it closely for any signs of error or uniqueness. Even minor details can significantly impact a coin's desirability and market value. Now, let's talk about the current market for these coins. The demand for rare pennies, especially those with unique features like the double die, has been steadily increasing. Collectors are often willing to pay top dollar for high-quality specimens, particularly those that have been well preserved and feature minting errors. The 1991 double die penny is highly coveted among numismatists, and recent auction results show that these coins can sell for impressive amounts. If you find one in excellent condition, it could lead to a significant return on your investment. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you have a 1991 penny that's in uncirculated condition, or even better, a rare double die version, it could be worth a staggering $34,000, that's right, $34,000 for a single penny. It's amazing how something so small can hold such enormous value. So, if you have any old pennies lying around or come across a 1991 penny in your change, make sure to take a closer look. You might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.